you already know something is wrong, and it isn't because of the headlines or those repetitive LinkedIn posts about AI taking jobs. You can feel in your gut, and maybe it shows up as that Sunday night dread that refuses to go away no matter how much you enjoy the weekend. It's normal to feel a quiet fear that the skills you spent a decade building are starting to have an expiration date, especially when you are making more money than ever and the track only feels tighter. 5 years ago, I was sitting exactly where you are right now as a senior DevOps engineer with $170,000 salary and a list of Fortune 500 clients. I had every certification that was supposed to guarantee security, yet I still had that same feeling that the ground was shifting underneath the career I had spent 20 years building. What I'm about to show you isn't a scare tactic, but rather the technical reality of what's actually happening inside these AI systems, explained in a way that finally makes the math make sense. Let's break down this together, because once you see the mechanics clearly, the panic starts to go away. What replaces that fear is something much more useful: a precision. Let's start by looking back at GPT-3, which people still talk about like it was some kind of a miracle. In reality, it was just a massive system of autocomplete and probability math that was dressed up to look like it was intelligent. If you feed a system billions of documents, it simply learns how to predict the next word in a sequence, so there is no actual reasoning or understanding involved. It is just a very sophisticated way of finding patterns. The next step in the process was supervised fine-tuning, where humans write out question and answer pairs to teach the model how to handle specific tasks like coding or customer service. While that sounds like a good approach, the problem is that scaling this method hits a wall almost immediately, because you need real people to create high-quality data. You need validated information from experts, and trying to do that at scale requires hundreds of thousands of examples that cost millions of dollars and years of work. I have seen companies hire massive teams of contractors to do this, but they still can't keep up because the math behind is just too brutal. Then someone figured out a hack that changed the entire industry. Instead of asking humans to write out perfect answers from scratch, they decided to just have them pick which of the two answers was better. Comparing two different code solutions only takes a few seconds, whereas writing the perfect solution yourself can take hours of focused work. You show an engineer two different outputs, they pick the winner, and after 10,000 of those comparisons, the model starts to learn. This is called reinforcement learning from human feedback, and it flipped the entire development process on its head. Think about the economics of that shit for a moment. In the old era of supervised learning, you were paying human experts to sit in a room and label data. If you wanted a model to understand complex architectural trade-offs, you needed a senior architect to spend 30 minutes of writing a single perfect answer, which created a billion-dollar bottleneck. This kind of growth is strictly linear and very slow. But with RLHF, you are asking that same architect to spend only 10 seconds picking the better of two options, which caused the cost of intelligence to drop by 90% almost overnight. Even that wasn't the final boss of the story, because the real change happened when they realized they could train a reward model to mimic those human preferences. Once that evaluator AI became stable, they were able to remove the human from the process entirely. Now, you have one AI generating 1,000 different solutions, while another AI judges them and feeds the best ones back into the training loop. This is known as synthetic data generation. It creates an infinite self-correcting feedback loop that runs at the speed of silicon rather than the speed of human coffee breaks. This is exactly why AI capability isn't just growing anymore. It is actively accelerating. We have moved past the era of human-fed intelligence into a world of machine bootstrap reasoning. The critical part to understand is that once you have enough human feedback, you can train a separate AI to act as the judge. The evaluator AI learns to predict exactly what a human would choose, which allows you to remove the people from the loop and let the evaluator become the teacher for the next generation. You are essentially bootstrapping improvement without any human intervention, which means no more annotation teams or million-dollar labor costs. At this point, growth stops being linear and starts becoming geometric. I spent 15 years building distributed systems, so I know exactly what happens when you finally remove the human bottleneck from the process. Capability begins to double every 6 months. And that isn't just speculation. That is exactly what what the current data is showing us. The model trains itself, and every new generation ends up being twice as capable as the one that came before it. To make things even more powerful, they added something called chain of thought reasoning. AI no longer just jumps to a random answer. It actually thinks through the individual steps required to solve a problem. Using more compute on each task leads to much higher accuracy, especially now that they have given those models like APIs, Git repositories, and database connections. The AI isn't just a chatbot anymore because it has the ability to act directly on the world. One system was recently told to safely deploy code to production, and it proceeded to open Git, create a branch, write tests, fix its own failures, and submit a pull request. It finished 4 hours of human work in just few minutes, and that is the shift that actually matters for your job. I know that the last session was a lot to take in, and I can already hear what some of you are thinking. You might be wondering if your 15 or 20 years of architecture experience actually buys you any protection, or if you are just as vulnerable as a junior dev. It does buy you something, but it's probably not what you think. Let's break this down. Your experience isn't a shield that stops you from being displaced, but it gives you a massive head start on the other side of this shit if you use it correctly. The engineers who are going to win the next decade aren't the ones trying to outcode the AI because they are the ones who understand these systems well enough to help companies set them up safely. That is the window of opportunity, and it's wide open right now. Take a step back and look at what the math actually looks like for your career, and then I will show you the practical next step you need to take. You are currently competing against a force that operates on a level we simply can't match as humans. Think of how your own brain functions during a typical workday, where you can probably handle deep work for maybe 60 or 90 minutes before you start hitting a wall. Once that happens, your brain is trained and you need a way to recharge. So while coffee might help for a bit, most people still max out at 2 or 3 hours of real cognitive work per day. This isn't a sign of laziness, but rather a reality of how our biology works since the prefrontal cortex runs on a very limited supply of fuel. The frontier models we are seeing today are playing an entirely different game. These systems can spend an hour straight on intense problem-solving success rates at 80% or higher, and they never get tired. They don't need to take vacations. They don't get distracted by social media, and they definitely don't feel the heavy pit in their stomach on Sunday night before the work week starts. The math behind this is what really matters for your career. Frontier models are doubling in their total capability roughly every 6 months, which isn't just a theory because we have observed the data to prove it. Every 6 months, a new generation of AI arrives that is twice as capable as the ones that came before it. If a model can handle 30% of your daily tasks right now, that number jumps to 60% in just 6 months. And by this time next year, it will handle 90% of your workload. In 18 months, it will be doing 130% of your job, meaning AI is effectively doing your entire role plus everything your coworker does while performing better than both of you combined. For a long time, there was one major hurdle blocking this from becoming our daily reality, and that was memory. Agents used to struggle because they couldn't hold enough context to manage long, complex workflows. But new agentic frameworks have recently solved that problem. Instead of trying to force one massive AI to remember every single detail at once, we now create teams of specialized agents that work together. This approach is a total shift in how engineering teams operate. In a traditional setup, you have a product manager to define the goals, a lead dev to figure out the technical approach, and 3 engineers to actually do the work. That creates a massive amount of overhead involving Jira tickets, daily stand-ups, and endless Slack pings just to keep everyone on the same page. Like adding auth to support to a legacy API and breaks it down into a sequence of small tasks. It doesn't just stop at writing code because it actually spins up a researcher agent to scan the old documentation, a coder agent to handle implementation, and a security agent to run full analysis on the pull request. These agents don't share one single brain, but instead share a continuous conversation. Because they pass messages back and forth rather than trying to cram 100,000 lines of code into a single window, they don't get confused by all the extra noise. They operate like a perfectly synchronized team, which means for a company, this isn't just about replacing a single coder. It's actually about replacing the entire management layer that was once required to coordinate that coders work. The math of a CEO is pretty simple, as they don't want to pay 5 separate salaries and 3 months of sprint cycles when an agentic swarm can finish the job in a weekend for the cost of a few million tokens. What this really means is that you aren't losing your job to a more intelligent being, but rather to productivity at scale we've never seen. The $170,000 salary you've been earning was never about being irreplaceable as a human being, but was always about scarcity because you had a specific skill that very few people possessed. When the supply of a skill is low and the demand is high, your price stays high. But AI is removing that scarcity from the equation. It doesn't sleep. It doesn't negotiate for better benefits. And it doesn't cost the company more if they ask it to work harder. The real question left for you is, what are you actually going to do about it? Staying in your current role is actually the riskiest move you can make right now. And I know that might sound harsh. If you look at the math, you are competing on a field where your opponent never sleeps and costs a tiny fraction of your current salary. Your company is only going to keep you as long as you are cheaper than an AI agent plus the infrastructure needed to run it. The very second that math flips in the AI's favor, you are gone without a 2 weeks notice or any real room for negotiation. You might be wondering why you have been feeling so much Sunday dread and burnout lately. That nagging sense that something has changed in the industry is real, and it usually means you feel like you don't have much time left to react. But here is what I've learned. You actually have some very real options right now, and you still have time to build them while the paycheck is still hitting your bank account every 2 weeks. The first part you can take is building an AI consulting business. You can take the years of architecture knowledge you have already built and use it to help companies set up this agentic AI system safely. Instead of trying to compete against the AI, you become the person who guides others through the messy implementation process. You could charge anywhere from $3,000 to $10,000 a month as a fractional CTO or as an AI strategy advisor. If you do this right, you might work 10 to 15 hours a week instead of the usual 60, which finally gives you your life back. When you step into the world of AI consulting, you aren't just showing people how to type prompts into ChatGPT. You are solving the expensive problems that keep CTOs awake at night. Let's break this down into 2 biggest areas where companies are struggling. First, you have the RAG integrity problem. Companies are rushing to build tools that let them chat with their own data, but they are hitting a massive wall when it comes to hallucinations and data leakage. They desperately need an architect who knows how to build robust evaluation pipelines, specifically someone who can prove that AI isn't making up financial figures or showing sensitive HR data to the wrong people. Second, there is a massive issue of agentic governance. Every enterprise wants to use autonomous agents, but they are terrified of an agent going rogue and deleting a production database or racking up a $50,000 API bill in a single hour. You can position yourself as the expert who builds the guardrails and the human in the loop checkpoints. You aren't just another AI person at that point because you are acting as a safety architect for the most powerful technology they have ever deployed. The second part is to become a specialized risk assessor. Every single company that tries to use AI is going to break something eventually, whether it is a security gap, performance bottleneck, or a major data integrity issue. They will more than happy to pay premium rates for someone who understands both legacy systems and these new AI threats. You can position yourself as the translation layer between the technical teams and the fears of the C-suites. For this part, turn your years of experience into a massive asset instead of a liability that the company is looking to cut. It's normal to feel a bit overwhelmed by these choices, but taking a step back helps to see that your deep background is exactly what makes you valuable in an AI world. Here is what I want to do right now, and it's just one thing. If you have watched this far, you already know the shift is real. You have to decide if you are going to build your exit while the paycheck is still coming in, or if you wait until the decision gets made for you. I run a 6-week coaching program specifically for tech professionals who are exactly where I was 5 years ago. We work with people who are experienced and well paid, but they are also quietly aware that the ground is moving beneath them. We work through your specific situation to figure out what your skills are actually worth outside of the corporate salary. We look at which AI consulting path fits your background and how to land your first client before you ever think about quitting. This is not a course or a template. It is a 6 weeks of direct work built around your timeline and your numbers. Balance is key here, so we make sure it fits into your current life without causing any more burnout. The link is in the description. If it is a right fit, we will figure out on a short call first with no pressure and no pitch deck, but don't sit on it. The window I described in this video is real and it moves fast. Here are the practical next steps. Click the link, book a time, and let's see if we can get your career on a solid ground. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.